Hey guys. So this is just a general tarot reading that I'm gonna do as an energy update, and it's for, I guess, whenever it's relevant to you. But I'm doing this on April 7th. Pretty sure today is the 7th. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm doing this on April 7th, 2022. I'm going to look at it as for, it could be all of April. It could just be, into next month as well. So just take it as whatever you want. I'm just going to post it as an energy update for, honestly, I don't know. I'm just going to treat this as timeless. Okay. And it's because everyone's going to be going through cycles and everything, and at different times that they're going to be feeling it. So it's just an energy update, but I'm doing this video on April 7th, 2022. It's general, it's a collective energy, and it's just what's going on right now, and it's guidance through it. So I'll be doing one row is what is the energy, what are people experiencing, what is the advice or guidance that's in the highest good of all, in the highest vibration of love, and what is the most likely outcome if that advice or guidance is followed. Okay, so we're gonna get going. Your first row is the wheel. It says destiny at the bottom. The Two of Cups, spiritual union. The Four of Cups, discontentment and boredom. I have a feeling this is like a permanent energy right now. And the crown chakra, which is kind of weird. Like, I'll show you. I don't know if you're gonna see it, but so like it's like this pink color, green, another of the kind of similar color, even though the crown chakra is like a violet or fuchsia or whatever. Not fuchsia, but more like a pinkish purple. But if you look, and it's hard to tell in here, but this is like greenish, and this is like that kind of pinkish purple color, and this is green. It's weird how all the colors are vibing, is what I'm trying to show you. All right, so I think there's a lot changing, and that was really coming up. There's a lot of mental energy here. There's a lot of uncomfortable energy and anxiety, but you could tell that there was a lot of transformation. Not exactly, but a lot of this reading does resonate with my Taurus reading for April, so go take a look at that, whether you're a Taurus or not. It just, the energies may resonate. I actually find that a lot with my readings, and so do a lot of people. Like, some people just watch all my readings because there's good advice and guidance in all of it. Really, sometimes it bothers me that I do put signs on it and trying to find a way to do it and have it not. And I don't know if I just want to do general all the time or whatever, because really the stuff that I say in a lot of my readings, like, everybody should watch. It's not so much limited to a sign, so kind of sucks like that. But anyways, there's a lot changing. There's wheels turning. There's stuff happening. There's a lot of transformational energies. I mean, you even have here like metamorphosis. There's 3 cards, so I'll get to them as they go along. But there's a lot of energies that are shifting. But there is a lot of anxiety. Like on the bottom of this other deck, there's the 9 of Swords, and underneath it, there's the Justice card. And that's what it feels like. There's a lot changing right now. There's a lot balancing out. Like, there's a lot of change to balance, which kind of makes sense where this two of Cups is going. So yes, it could happen through a union. It could be your masculine and feminine union, by the way. Go check out, I'll probably post at the end of this video, these two that I'm talking about. But how to balance your masculine and feminine energies, and what could be potential blocks for that. So it could be internal. It could be mirrored through physical, external relationships as well. It could even be a project or a friendship. It doesn't have to be like a lover. But it also could be balancing. There is a lot balancing out right now. But because of that, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of suffering in a lot of ways, a lot of mental energies. And so you have this kind of discontentment and boredom, which on one hand is people, there's a lot of transformation, a lot of reassessing. What's important to me right now? What do I want? What did I want? People really looking at, like, is what they're going after really going to bring them what they want? And what is it that they want? Like, for example, if, like, say, we'll go with a relationship. If somebody wants a person, do they really want that person? Like, does that person, like, does something in them wound-wise tell them they want that person and that they'll be happy, but really they haven't been happy for a long time, or they never were really happy? Like, it was just like a chasing thing. Like, does that person actually have the ability to make you happy? Like, really, really. Not just like in theory, or like your ego would be happy if you finally got them and solved a wound, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, is it really that you're just wanting to feel good? Are you wanting to integrate? Are you wanting to be in alignment? Are you wanting to feel peace in mind and heart, right? And for some reason, you've got a programmed way of going about what you're doing. You know, stuff like that as an example. Or is what you're going after really going to make you happy? Are you going after a job that, let's say, and I'm not saying 9-to-5s are bad. I mean, it could be the other way, even, where you're like, you tried to do the freedom thing from a corporate America and you found corporate America was good for you. I found, like, if I tried to go back to it, it to me felt like a prison, like a false security. At least the one I went to, and it just, I had to reassess what it was I was actually looking for, and what would actually make me happy. So I think there's a reassessment right now, and people really looking at, like, what do they want? What's making them happy? Is what they're going for making them really happy? If not, what will? Do they like who they are? If not, who can they create themselves to be? What do they want? What don't they want? Blah, blah, blah. It's stirring up a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of anxiety that goes along with that, not just during it because you're not happy, but, you know, a lot of the emotions and the blocks coming up while getting there. But either way, there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of higher self involvement going on here and leading to the next step, but also a lot of, I feel, trying to connect in a way, to look for that guidance. I feel like a lot of this is coming down, though, through a higher self kind of thing, like leading on the transformation, on how you feel and what's going on. So not only is a lot of it pushed by that, but I think a lot of it is also you guys yourselves looking for guidance on what to do. Maybe like trying to connect, because if you look too in this card, like, it's inner heart, but it's also like connecting above. So maybe a lot of you guys are trying to, like, go within and also connect above and look for that guidance of, like, I don't know. I just know that I don't feel well. I don't think things are right. Like, I'm not happy. Something doesn't feel aligned within. And something feels out of balance. And it could just be just from you and you're going to create the shift, or it could be this imbalance is coming from your higher self or the universe or whatever in order to create a rebalancing going on with you. But either way, it seems like that's what's going on. A metamorphosis, a rebalancing, just not being happy and not realizing that you're just not happy with the way things are. Some people may have gotten to the reassessment part yet, some may not. But there is a rebalancing going on, but there's a lot of mental energy here. Like, so in the advice column, there's the Two of Swords, mental conflict. And then you also have on the bottom of the deck over there, the Nine of Swords, suffering and silence. There's a lot of mental energies going on right now. Triumphant success, Ace of Swords, Truth card, which is judgment, and then you have victory and success, Six of Wands. So a lot of what I think the advice is here is like, for one, ground yourself. See how this hand with the idea is it's coming out of the ground. I feel like you should really make sure you're grounding yourself and stay grounded and connected within. But it's weird too, and it's funny how like she's like connecting down here, but also connecting above. Make sure you are grounding yourself, but yes, make sure you're connecting above and working with your highest self. But in two of these cards, you know, and you have the Judgment with Truth, she's looking... Let's see if we can focus. I don't know, it's not. I may have to turn a different feature on. Either way, it's like the star, like the universe, starriness. And she's, I think it's a girl, like going and looking there. Like it's almost like once this person has mental conflict, then all of a sudden they ground themselves and they get an idea, right? And then now they're going up there, they're going to the higher part, higher self, higher whatever, and they're working or speaking with the cosmos. So I don't know if some of you have a way, whether to work with like intergalactic beings, the council, your highest self, I don't know, do your thing, whatever it is. But connecting above, like what is written in the stars, what can you create in the stars? What is it about the stars? Hold on a second. It's funny too that this is a Judgment card, and normally there's like a trumpet, and then the Success card has a trumpet also. It's only you're calling out to them instead of them calling out to you. Where the Judgment is usually like the angel has the trumpet calling down an awakening. And it is sort of like she's making an order. I do think it's a deciding what you want. You really need to ground yourself. But it's more than that. Because it's almost like you're figuring something out while you're doing this. Or communication. And I don't know if it's to your guides. I don't know if it's like star beings, starseed beings. I don't know if it's... And then that brings victory. And now you connect. I almost get like a, now I know what I want. Like calling it out to the universe, or... Or at the very least, it's successful. But... what can... So some of you also, soul retrieval could be beneficial, by the way. It could be other parts of yourself. Like, a part that I kind of got when I first looked at it was like a returning home. But I feel like it's just higher. Like you're doing whatever it is to you, whether it's you're praying, you're talking to the stars, you're star watching, you're working with your guides, you're communicating with, you know, star beings or intergalactic guides. Like, you're doing something that's of a higher level. Some of you maybe astral projecting even. I'm trying not to go too far with this. I mean, not that that's like way out there, but I think you're just really working with spirit or like higher forces and connecting, like staying grounded while doing it. But whatever that is to you, it's going to be different. So I'm going to stop digging into this because I think that's what it's going to be. So you're looking for you're looking to higher, because in your mind it's just making a muck of it. So you kind of ground yourself with nature and get in those energies. That clears you enough to have the idea, and then you're probably able to connect up above and reach for higher guidance, more neutral guidance. So that's another thing probably for the stars. Lack of human concepts, human difficulties, human limitations, human things that just complicates things, and getting down to the neutral or the simplicity and the purest of energies to kind of really get to your answer. Now, I'm not saying that some of you are doing that. You may. This is in your advice column. So you're kind of more in your mind. It's telling you to ground yourself as well and allow that to clear some of your energies so your mind can become more focused, and then also align to the higher energies. So really making yourself like a channel, if you will, to stay grounded and stable, but connect above in whatever you connect to, so that you can get out of your own muck, you can get out of your own conflict, and be more in just the basic, simplest, and purest of energies, minus human complication. And then it brings you to not only being able to talk to and connect and call out what it is that you really want, but connect to the higher energies and have victory and success. If we go to the line that shows what is the most likely outcome if you follow this advice, because these are kind of hard energies to navigate, and it explains it a little bit in my Taurus reading too, where it's hard to listen. It's hard to listen to your emotions right now. You need to listen outside of them, because a lot of stuff's going to be coming up during that transformation and working through that you really can't trust making decisions off of that. But in your most likely outcome to listening to the advice and the guidance, you have the Hierophant, wisdom. You have the Eight of Wands, accelerated motion. You have temptation, the Devil card. And you have the Three of Cups. Again, this was in the Taurus reading, rejoice in celebration. There's a lot of emotional energies going on right now. Again, there was a lot of emotion in the Taurus reading. But you're kind of able to see things a little bit more from a spiritual perspective. Like, besides you have like the people here. Again, it's not focusing well, so may not be able to see. But you have the spirit, the family here, the humans, and then he's got like the spiritual book. I know it's the Hierophant, but I take it as though this is you. But you kind of have a little bit higher of an advantage on of seeing things. You're a higher vibration. You're able to navigate more swifter energies in a higher vibration. Again, Here's the 8 of Wands, so you could take better action, but she's looking to the stars again. And if you look, there's even, is that a shooting star? I don't know, but it's shooting something. And she's looking to the stars again. Like she's looking to the higher energies. And if you look at this, and I do believe in this, I would actually follow this advice. Like normally, like you would think you would want to put this key with the heart in it, in his, where it goes right here, and he's blocking it out, you know, in a, no, in the devil kind of way. But in this, I think it's actually appropriate. I think that it's, and it's not that you're blocking your heart or keeping it away. It's just knowing that there's a lot of transformational energies going on right here. And there's a lot of stagnant, lower vibrational, mucky energy that's being transformed and cleared out, that it can be confusing and it's not great to make decisions from. So you're going to want to keep like a higher perspective going on and stick to your higher guidance, your highest self most appropriately. But if you know, pray to Jesus, or you work with your guides, or, you know, star beings, whatever it is, whatever you trust and has proven trust and proven worthy, like they've proved they have your highest good in mind, basically. And it kind of just bypasses the stuff going on, which, you know, I'll get into in a minute what some of that's going to be. But, and then it leads you to the 3 of Cups, rejoice and celebration, right? So you're a little bit better off. You can find others in high vibration, like minds, happiness. You're feeling better. You're not feeling discontent and boredom anymore. You're feeling a coming together happening. So you have the Metamorphosis, and then you have Bone Collector, which this card I actually want to read to you because I believe this is a lot of the energies that will be going on, as well as other things for any whoever's just clearing other things out. Slow and steady kind of goes along with this, so I'll get to that after. And then Commitment, heal the ouch, that was also in the Taurus card. There's a lot of wounds healing right now, so being committed to yourself, being committed to this process, returning back home in alignment with yourself. So I want to read Bone Collector. And it says, you are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reaching out. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you are fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something especially is stolen. Why can't I read? It's as if something, whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. So again, this is coming back to the soul retrieval. So if some of you have been thinking of or getting the idea of soul retrieval as well, again, reach out to me. If, I'm sorry, was that my last reading? I'm saying it again, it was my last reading. I kind of stopped doing services for a little while just to like take a break and stuff. So if some of you do need help, I'm not like officially doing them again, but if you need help or with the soul retrieval, feel free to reach out. My email's in the description. I'll let you know if I'm doing them or not, or if I'm able to do them at that time or not. So I'm just saying that I don't know for sure. Don't feel bad if I say no. That doesn't mean I'm going to say no. For sure. It doesn't mean I'm definitely going to say no. Oh, Jesus, you scared me. But, you could try. I do soul retrievals. No, lady, no. But either way, this may be a hint for some of you that have been hitting on the whole soul retrieval thing. Especially when we're young, it's as if something essential has been stolen from us. We adapt and we accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future. Let me just restart this. I'm really sorry, y'all. I'm not going to restart the whole thing, just that little part. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when something we're faced with I really just want to cut all this out. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a situation that reminds us of the original event. I'm really sorry, guys. like, oh my God. So anyways, what we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. We may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you to reclaim it now. I'm telling you, this has a lot of soul retrieval energy. You have everything you believe you lack, and the Bone Collector is your inner source. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. And she does kind of like a shamanic vibe. So, I don't know. I felt that was important. I'm sorry I butchered it like no other. But either way, it's another part of you coming back. So you have this whole spiritual union. So a lot of it can be within you. Some of you could have soul retrieval. Some people don't actually need somebody to help them with their soul retrieval. Like their own stuff will handle it. Or if you connect to your highest self. I know one time I connected to mine. I was getting a big thing not long ago, actually, about soul retrievals. And I connected to mine, and it brought two soul essences back to me, actually. So you don't always need help, but if you do, you know, like I said, reach out to someone you trust, or reach out to me and see if I'm doing that. Just check and see. And then when and if I am going full force with it, I'll list the full information. I don't have everything else is in my description box. I just don't have the actual like services and all that stuff because I didn't want to like promote that I was doing it until I was ready to start doing it again. So just email me, okay? And I'll let you know if I am or not and what the deal is. But either way, there's a lot of doubt that's going to be coming up, a lot of past patterns, a lot of just ickiness, woundiness, woundiness, oh my God. And I don't mean that in a bad way or to be judged, but it's just heavy stuff, lower vibrational stuff to be worked through, a lot of muck. But there is a lot of changing coming through. There is aspects of you that are helping for your highest good, and that will possibly be coming back to you. So you may be getting a soul retrieval, whether you know it or not. If you've been guided to a soul retrieval, maybe this is like something that's like, yep, you were right. But either way, there's a part of you that's healing and aligning, a part of you that's coming back. And this whole slow and steady is like slow and steady wins the race. Don't be too hard on yourself right now or too judgy on yourself right now. There's a lot going on, you know, there's a lot more going on than you even know. So just be gentle with yourself. There's transforming energies. You're reassessing things. You're relearning who you are, what you want, what you don't want, you know, what you can do, what you can't do, what you're willing to accept, what you're not. And there's just a lot of confusing energies within and around you. And things are legit changing. The wheel is turning. And it's not just turning, it's turning, and there's other things happening with it. It's weird. It's almost like a multi kind of energy. There's multiple parts of yourself that are changing with it, while also like coming back and reintegrating. And that's a lot of stuff shifting inside. So it's really not a time to really be like all up in your mind about it. You know, don't, like this says, the Two of Swords, don't be in your mind about it. Just ground yourself so that it can like ground your energies. And yes, you have to think, but it kind of clears it up. It gives clarity of mind because you're grounded and you're not sitting there with a bunch of like energy going around. But at the same time, you want to connect above and get to energies that are higher vibrational and, you know, that you could trust and that are outside of yourself right now. Like, yes, look within, but look within in a higher vibrational way, in a non-human way. Meaning, like when I connect to my higher self, I don't connect out, I connect in to connect to my highest self. It usually brings me in, and then I could tell my conscious it like goes like this, like I like drop, and then I could feel it just pop up. But that may not be yours. That's just what happens with me. But you want in this moment to kind of rise above your humanness. So yes, you came here to experience that. There's nothing wrong with it. But really the whole balance thing is knowing when to trust your emotions and when to come out of your emotions to make a decision, when they're working for you and when there's a transformation and something's going on. You know what I mean? To know yourself well enough to know when and where and what to access and what to resource at that time, and what's going on. Like, we're multidimensional, we're multifaceted. Like, there's not going to be one answer that's a blanket statement that works for everything. You have to know when to use your mind. You have to know when to use your heart. You have to know when to listen to your emotions. You have to know when to kind of rise above them and see above them. You have to know the balance. Like I said, there's big on about balance that's going on right now. You have to know when to pray, when to talk to God, when to talk to Jesus, when to go to your higher self. I think you should always go to your higher self, but you get what I'm saying. You have to know when to do that. You have to know when to listen and enjoy your human self, and when to get guidance from the part that can see above and around you. You know, you have to know when to listen to your mind, and you have to know when to listen to your heart. You have to know when to listen. Your gut kind of is always right on. It can have a little block, but you have to know the balance of things. And right now it's telling you to ground so that it clears all those excess energies and you have a little bit more straightforward clarity. But also, right as it does that and it clears you and kind of stabilizes you, reach up and about. Because the other reason for that is, like, these two together, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but if you're not grounded, or if you've got a lot of like just staticky, floaty, like just too much energy inside of you that's just useless, chaotic energy, not useless, but you get what I'm saying, it's really, really, really hard, if not somewhat impossible, to reach this higher state. It's hard to focus. It's too much noise. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really hear it when there's too much noise, and this is too much noise. So you really want to ground and send it and allow, like, Mother Earth or whatever to take that and make it to where it's just clarity. It's like more of like one clear thought. You're still going to be thinking, but it's a little bit more clear. It's not going to be so staticky and so loud. So then you can be grounded and stabilized to be able to, then you can reach up and expand and go and reach towards whatever those higher energies are, your highest self, whatever. So you could hear them. You know what I mean? And then take that information and now go on as you will, with better guidance, basically, and to now know more of like what you want. It just is really going to help change your perspective and how you see things, so that you know how to go forward success wise, but how to call out to others, you know, happiness, whatever. Just like I said before, like, yes, you could be calling out your order to the universe, whatever, but I just got more from this. Like, I heard, like, I know what I want, you know, because you can think more properly. And you'll just have a higher level of knowledge, like the Hierophant and the wisdom, and you'll be able to look up for advice. That's a muscle you'll strengthen. So see how it's like a small window like this, but the likely outcome if you follow this advice is like, look, she doesn't have to like drop in so hard to come up here and go to this little window to do it. She could stay down here and just look up and access this knowledge now. It's like a muscle she's strengthening. So she's strengthening that part of herself. And she's kind of teaching herself not to ignore her emotions, but to not let her emotions rule her. To be more emotionally stable and to have emotional intelligence. and to know when to listen to them and when to know that there's just a lot of chaos going on that needs to be healed or let go, or just really not given attention to. Like, there are times, there are energies that you just don't give attention to things so that they can just settle themselves. The energy will settle itself down. You know what I mean? If you need to pay attention to something, when you go to this with your highest self or whatever you're connected to, it will let you know you need to pay attention to it. But sometimes, you know, all facets of us can be kind of like wonky, you know what I mean, at times. And sometimes it needs breaks. Sometimes you need to focus on what needs attention. And if the emotional part is going through a muck and it's kind of like crying out, or like a child having a tantrum, or it's scared, or it's whatever, and it's just going through valid yet illusionary concepts or ideas, you don't want to fall into it like quicksand, right? You want to be able to like rise above it, stay from a higher perspective, see what's going on, love it, have compassion, but not let it pull you down in its chaos, almost like a parent to a child, right? You don't want them to pull you down with them. You want to be able to keep them afloat and guide them through the process, but you're not going to be able to guide yourself through the process if you're allowing them to pull you into it, if that makes sense. So this is a time, really, again, this kind of matches a lot of my Taurus reading. And there's a lot of healing and transformation going on right now. But just make sure you ground yourself, clear the excess energy, clear yourself, just have kind of more stable and stabilized thought. And then whether within or above, whatever, reach your higher guidance and strengthen that muscle. And it will help guide you through a lot of this process. Because like I said, there's a lot of metamorphosis. There's a lot of changing energy. There's a lot going on, and it's not just a turning of a wheel. It's also, there's a lot of union. There's a lot of getting rid of things. There's a lot of reassessing of things. There's a lot of turbulent emotional energies. There's a lot of mental anguish. There's a lot of anxiety. It's just a lot. So to get out of that, it's just a lot, and it's just overwhelming, and it's just confusing. Give yourself a healthy resource to be able to rise above it, to help you as it's almost like your higher self, helping your human body navigate these times. Okay? So it's weird. It's like multifaceted. Like, you are higher than a certain part of you, and you're also going to the higher part of that, and you're allowing all of them to, like, you get what I'm saying? It's like cool, but it's weird. All of them to help navigate all of it. So I think that's it. That's kind of an energy update for right now. On what's going on and the advice to help you through that. I hope that makes sense. If you need something more personal, let me know. Again, like I said, my email is in the description. Just reach out. I'll let you know if I'm doing anything or not, or what I can do, or if I can't. And everything's there, but description of my services. And if it matters, I'll send you that information if it comes to be like, if it's pertinent, basically. And as soon as I know, if I start doing it again, I'll post it up. If you're interested in donations, because I get emails about that information is also in the description box below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, especially if this helped you out in some way. I hope it has. I may try to do these like weekly, like energy updates weekly or every 2 weeks or something. If at least I'll do them once a month, but sometimes it shifts more than once a month. So we'll see how that goes, but I hope this helps you. I hope everybody's doing okay, and keep your head up. Again, it's not just your higher self. I mean, your highest self is going to guide you to your inner light that can guide you better than anything else, but make sure you're eating well, because, you know, if your body is in sync and functioning properly and fluidly, it's all the easier you'll also be able to navigate to these energies, and all the easier you'll be able to connect to your highest self. I find, like, if I eat really bad, I have a harder time connecting because my vibration is lower. So it all matters, mind, body, soul. You know what I mean? They all play together. The better one is, the better the other two are. They're all at their prime. You're all the better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You will end up better off emotionally and feeling good, more than likely, if you follow this advice, which seems pretty obvious, to be honest with you, but maybe it was just a little bit encouraging or of a reminder. So I love you guys. I hope all is well. I'll be seeing and talking to you soon.